When Warnya appeared, everyone except Charlie was shocked. No one could imagine that Warnya, who has been missing and whose life or death has been unknown, suddenly appeared at the press conference. You know, in the last second, the song group was unable to confirm whether Warnya was still alive, so it held a special board meeting and announced the appointment of Tianming as the new chairman. However, in the next second, Warnya came back suddenly. Almost everyone can't accept such a big plot turn, and everyone is afraid that this doesn't even happen in movies. Of these, most denying, naturally, is Tianming, who has just succeeded the chairman of the song group. At this time, Tianming, looking at Warnya, was already distraught. His eyes were big and red, and he was still covered with bloodshot eyes. The pair of eyeballs almost stared out of the eye sockets. He couldn't believe that Warnya could return to China from Japan alive. He couldn't help but secretly say in his heart, since she is still alive, why doesn't even the Japanese police know about it? The current Japanese police, although they have begun to reduce the manpower searching for Warnya, they still haven't completely given up searching for her whereabouts, but she bypassed them and returned home quietly. What is she doing? More importantly, since she is still alive, why has she never contacted me in the old song? She has a deep relationship with her grandfather. Even if she doesn't believe in him, she can't even doubt the old one, right? Could it be? Did she realize something? Thinking of this, Tianming panicked to death. Honor on the side was even more startled and scared at this time. He also didn't understand how Warnya survived, let alone how she returned to China. Now, there has been a lot of rumors about her in China and Japan, and everyone knows it. With her current popularity, it would never be possible for her to return home quietly unless someone with great magical powers secretly helps her. At this point, Honor immediately looked at Charlie, who was smiling in the first row of VIP seats. At this moment, he felt a little bit in his heart, and a thought suddenly appeared. Could it be? Is it Charlie? Yes. It must be him. No wonder he came back from Japan so easily. If it is not certain that Warnya is safe, how could he give up searching? Moreover, only he has the ability to bring Warnya back from Japan without anyone knowing it. No wonder he has to come to the song group's press conference. It turns out that he is secretly manipulating all this. Thinking of this, Honor was also scared to death. He was afraid that Charlie already knew what he had planned with his father. In that case, Charlie would definitely not let them go. At this time, all the media's attention was focused on Warnya. From beginning to end, no reporter noticed Charlie, who was sitting in the first row with his head facing them. At this moment, the shutter sound of the camera on the scene crackled like firecrackers. Warnya walked towards the rostrum under the gaze of everyone. Countless reporters stretched out their microphones at this time. Some reporters spoke hurriedly and asked some crazy questions. Miss Song, I am a reporter from Jiangnan Finance and Economics. I would like to ask, how did you escape the crash in Japan? Are you reborn? Warnya stopped, smiled slightly, and said, when the accident happened, I happened to be not in the car. Someone asked. Then Miss Song, since you were not in the car, the Japanese police have been searching for your whereabouts for so many days. Why have you not shown up? Warnya replied, I didn't show up because I suspected that the accident I encountered was caused deliberately. For my personal safety, I didn't disclose it to the public. As soon as this was said, everyone at the scene took a breath. The accident that Warnya encountered was caused by someone? If this is true, wouldn't that person want to murder her? In that way, the nature of this matter has risen from a traffic accident to a murder with extremely cruel methods and extremely serious consequences. Tianming and Honor were even more shocked. If Warnya really has the evidence of their crimes, then it will be over for them. Although this case was committed in Japan, the person who died, in this case, was a Chinese national, and the person behind the scenes was also a Chinese national, so this must be sanctioned by Chinese law. In China, planning homicide is one of the most serious crimes. Even if they pretended it to be a traffic accident, did not use any weapons, and did not directly kill other people in the car, it was still very serious in nature. Therefore, even if the death penalty can be avoided, the father and son must at least be sentenced to life imprisonment. The richer the person, the more afraid they are of going to jail. While in case of poor, they even commit crimes, seeking a place to live in prison and a bite to eat. Especially in Japan, a country with a very serious aging, many elderly people have no choice but to embark on the path of crime because they have no way to provide for the elderly. But this is definitely not the case for the rich. They own the world's top luxury cars, airplanes, yachts, and the world's top luxury mansions. They alone enjoy the meticulous service of a few or even dozens of people, and their lives are like paradise on earth. To send such people to jail is more uncomfortable than killing them. After all, in the prison, they are treated equally, whether you are a homeless person who is so poor that there is no place to sleep and eat or a super rich person who is rich and wealthy in an enemy country. Once in prison, everyone is likely to live in the same cell and eat with the same pot, rice every day. Therefore, Tianming and Honor were almost panicked in their hearts. Warnya did not answer any questions from the media reporters at this time. She stepped onto the rostrum and came to the front of Uncle Tianming. Tianming was so scared that his scalp was numb, and even severe tinnitus appeared in his ears. He thought Warnya would send him suddenly, but he didn't expect that Warnya just smiled at him and said very politely, "Uncle, these days, I worry about you." Tianming breathed a sigh of relief as soon as she said this. He secretly said in his heart like a new life, "My God, I was almost scared to death. It seems that Warnya still doesn't know that all this is my mastery. God bless me, amen, amen." Honor next to him also immediately relaxed, and his tight nerves almost broke at the moment Warnya approached. Fortunately, Warnya didn't seem to be targeting the father and son. After Tianming breathed a sigh of relief, he rejoiced and said, "Oh Warnya, I was counting these days when you were away, my heart and liver were aching. Your grandpa is also a source of worry due to sudden brain disease." Speaking of this, Tianming sighed, "Hey, it's okay, it's fine if you come back, it's fine if you come back." As soon as he finished speaking, his eyes were red, and 2 lines of tears shed unexpectedly. Charlie in the audience watched Tianming's actor-level performance with cold eyes, and said in his heart, "Tianming, do you think you have survived the disaster? In fact, your nightmare has just begun."